Cowboys are coming off a rough loss last week and are looking to rebound against the Falcons. But their defense was dealt a tough blow yesterday when Mike McCarthy announced that Randy Gregory suffered a calf strain during Wednesday's practice and is set to miss multiple weeks. Bucky Brooks, what's the bigger concern moving forward after that upset loss to the Broncos? Cowboys' stagnant offense or the very leaky defense?
Leaky. It's the offense. The offense, everything for Dallas. Part of the reason why we were excited about the Cowboys is because their offense is their best defense, meaning they can play a style that forces the opponent to chase points. But it's about the offense playing efficiently. It's Dak Prescott getting the ball out to CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, being able to bring Michael Gallup and reincorporate him into the mix. It's Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard running crazy and being able to control the clock. Because the real root of the problem that happened against the Broncos, not necessarily that the offense didn't play great, the Broncos controlled the ball for 42 minutes. Mm-hmm. And anytime you put that defense on the field for more than 30 minutes, the leaks are going to happen. So rather than me saying, oh, Dan Quinn has to fix this and fix that, no. Offense, score points, control the clock, make sure you're dictating the terms, because the strength of the Cowboys team is in the star power on offense. And so I need that star-powered offense to always play at an A level. The defense is going to be up and down just based on how they're constructed, the young players that they have on that side. But offensively, each and every week, they got to show up and play at an A level. If they don't play at an A level, it's hard for the Cowboys to win. So, yes, I'm more concerned about the offense because I need them to play great for the Cowboys to win and win consistently.
Oh, man, check my stat on this, but I do believe every time Dallas has given up more than 30 points, they lose the game. and that's a lot of points, but in reality, in today's NFL, that really isn't a lot of points. So they've done an excellent job of managing opposing offenses well enough to give their team enough leeway to win games. So while I will say you're correct and I'll agree with you that the offense has to be the catalyst of winning these games, and Dak has to play better than what he did against the Broncos, I give credit to the Broncos defense for playing well, opportunistic style of play. They made some pretty interesting, turnover plays, sudden change of possession plays against Dallas. But the offense does have to play well, but the defense has to be in collaboration with that offense playing well, meaning that as big a plays as Dallas is capable of making and getting to the end zone from anywhere on the field with some of this talent that they have out there, and as complete as their receiving core is, the defense still has to manage to find a way, even with the absence of Lawrence and Gregory, to keep teams on their heels and out of the end zone for less than 30 points. And in some cases, man, less than 20 points. Are they capable of doing that without Randy Gregory or DeMarcus Lawrence? I think that's a difficult proposition. I think it makes this a very vulnerable Dallas team. But if they're able to do that, if Dan Quinn is able to position this defense and this personnel that they have lasting right now in position to do that, they should be in a pretty good position to put up enough offense to win games. And keep in mind, the outright outside of Dave and Baltimore, who is from the same school, I won't gush on it because it happens to be the same school I came from. Outside of Oweh and Baltimore, you're runaway far and away, which I told y'all plenty times before we got to this season. The rookie of the year on the defensive side of the ball, Micah Parsons, can still make a difference from the defensive end's position. That could fill the bill until one of those guys comes back. DeMarcus Lawrence is supposed to come back soon. He could fill that position. But now with mounting film on Micah and two bookends, strong ends not being there, the attention will shift to him. The question will be, can somebody else step up in that defensive front that will allow for guys like Diggs and other guys in that secondary to still be able to have the impact that they've had thus far in the season?
Yeah, we sat here, LeVar, I think in August, and all I did was trash the Dallas defense, and you kept telling me, Micah Parsons, and you were right. Micah Parsons has been great. He's been amazing. However, the rest of the defense has been awful, other than Randy Gregory, who proved us all wrong, grading out as the 6th best defensive end in the league. Timeout. Trayvon Diggs,
Diggs.
We'll get to him in a second. Randy Gregory, top 10 in hits and hurries. He's playing awesome off the edge, reinvigorated. Trayvon Diggs has been terrible in the secondary. I know he's made the splash plays and the pick sixes galore, but that turnover luck that they thrived on early, Bucky, you know this. They were getting turnover luck for the first 6 or 7 games. And what happened? Trayvon Diggs all of a sudden gets lit up like a Christmas tree by Tim Patrick of Denver. Yeah, a pass interference flag in the end zone, beat deep. By the way, again, Pro Football Focus, I'll give it to him.
Never played cornerback.
103rd graded out cornerback in the league. By the way, Anthony Brown on the other side is like top 25, okay? Trayvon Diggs has been fortunate with the pick sixes. I know the Dallas mob is going to come after me online, but this defense is the problem, okay? I'm sorry, Bucky. Leaky is barely defining how bad these guys have been. And I just wonder, you know, is this going to be a mid-season malaise for Dallas until Gregory comes back, until DeMarcus Lawrence comes back? And I'm a little worried this week. I was going to go with Dallas in my Survivor League, but I wonder if Micah Parsons, LeVar, is rushing the quarterback, who's going to cover Kyle Pitts in the slot? Don't tell me Trayvon Diggs. That's a mismatch.
You're going to have to use a secondary guy to cover Pitts anyway.
Well,
so
McCurse is playing well. I'll give him that. But their front seven in Dallas is struggling. If you can't pressure the quarterback, and right now they're just league average across the board, other than Gregory, it could be a long couple of weeks for Dallas here. The offense is not the problem, by the way. One number for you, Bucky. 3rd most efficient offense in the league. Last week they were missing Tyron Smith, and it was pretty clear they couldn't block anybody. I mean, he was the backup Steele looked like a traffic cone on the left side. He was just getting burnt left and right, and Dak was under duress. Denver, I think you said, had the ball for 41 minutes. Well, if you can't stop the run, and Denver had like 165 on the ground, you can't get the ball back. There was a couple high-leverage 4th downs that Dallas failed on early, and that was ultimately the game. They fell behind, couldn't come back. I'm only worried about the defense. The offense, no concerns.
Well, see, here's the thing, because it's gameplay and strategy. So it's one of these things where I know, Jason, like you like basketball. So if I'm Wisconsin Badgers and I'm playing half-court basketball and I'm draining the shot clock every time, I shrink the game. So the Dallas Cowboys, because you pointed out that they're very efficient, one of the more efficient offenses in football. Well, if that is the strength of your team and you're so efficient, well, now you can change the way that you play. So rather than playing fast, you play slow, because now you protect your defense. Rather than throw it all over the yard, maybe you throw early and run it late. So now that you put the pressure on the other team to chase points. So what I would expect to see is an aggressive but efficient offense, trying to dictate the terms early, trying to see if they can put that old 14 spot up on teams. So now those teams have to abandon the running game, because it's harder to run the football when you're chasing points. So now you have to throw it all over the yard. So now I think you called it the lucky turnover defense, can then have more opportunities to get those tips and overthrows that lead to interceptions. And yes, I fully can acknowledge that Trayvon Diggs, every now and then, he gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. But you know what I also see? I see a mouthful of crumbs, because he's eating all the cookies. He has 7 cookies that he's eaten this year. So I'm okay with the Cookie Monster every now and then getting pinched because he got caught in there. He will get it back. He is one of the best corners that we've seen. And sometimes you got to give a little to get a little, because he is going to continue to seduce quarterbacks into taking shots. And we have seen that if it's not a pinpoint pass, he will pick it off. And so I'm not worried about the defense. The defense will play the way they need to play, but it's the offense that has all the pressure, because everyone knows that the offense has to carry the water for this team.
And I'm going to go back to this. This could be a compromising moment for the Dallas Cowboys, in the sense that I don't think anybody was expecting Atlanta to kind of take a hold of reshaping their season. Like, all of a sudden they're at 500. All of a sudden if the playoffs were to start today, they would be one of the teams in the playoffs. Go imagine. They have done a pretty good job of trying to shore up their team. I don't really know how good Atlanta is right now. Are they the other side? Are they south of 500 team, or are they the north of 500 team? I really don't know that right now. And I think what compromises Dallas is I don't think they know either. So you're going into a game where this could be one of those games where you actually could could be a statement game for Dallas to win this game, or it could be no statement at all. You were supposed to win this game, which is a trap game. That's what you call a classic trap game. You have everything to lose and really nothing to gain. But you could have gained because this team actually could be a team that was trending in the right direction, but a loss to you sends them under 500. This makes it very, very interesting to watch this game and to see what exactly is going to take place with this Dallas team. They should be able to find holes, not just in this Atlanta defense, in any defense. But this Denver Broncos team showed that they can be susceptible to turnovers. They can be stopped in the running game. They can be limited in what it is that they're able to do, which they should be so multi-dimensional with the amount of talent that they have. There shouldn't be too many defenses that can slow them down. I don't look at Atlanta as a defense that will be able to slow down a now coming into his second game, Dak Prescott. I think that Dak bounces back in this game. Look for CeeDee Lamb to find the openings. He's one of those guys I talked about earlier, about Odell Beckham Jr. He's that same type of receiver, runs really great routes, and he runs his best routes and does his best work where? In the center of